All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? So there is a lot of speculation over this summer. That's really become the NBA's new brand. The possibilities, the what-if game, right, is the new selling point for the NBA. And there is a big what-if game out there this summer in regards to the futures of some superstars in the NBA, a la Kevin Durant and or Kyrie Irving of the Boston Celtics. Now, I expect the Warriors to somehow, some way win a championship again. They are the favorites. And once they do so, Kevin Durant will have a big decision to make. Do I want to go for the historic 4P and open up the Warriors' new arena? Or do I want to move on with my life, close this chapter, take my 3 championships possibly and my possible 3 final MVPs, move on with my life, go do something else, go to another team, face another obstacle? I still get all this scrutiny for being a guy that can't be the leader of a team that wins a championship. Do I want to go to New York and try to bring a championship to Madison Square Garden? Not a lot of people have done that in New York history. All right. And for Kyrie Irving, do you want to, if you Boston Celtics get eliminated in the first or second round, I do believe Kyrie is going to be looking to move on from Boston. He's going to probably look in the mirror and say, this ain't working. We don't like playing together. And we should be better than what we are right now. And I have the right to do what's best for me and my family. Does he want to move on to go to the nation's capital and be a crossover machine in the Garden night in and night out? Team up with Kevin Durant. Does he want to go try and do this thing with someone else, a close friend of his, one of his best friends? He's quoted as saying Kevin Durant's one of his best friends. Does he want to go to New York and team up with KD to put together one of the most fantastic shows I've ever seen in my life? Those two together on a basketball court night in, night out, it's going to be fun for the game. So those are questions that those guys have to answer. It's not about anyone else. It's about them wanting to make decisions that will alter the NBA forever. And as these guys get closer and closer to free agency, people have opinions. One guy that has an opinion might be one of the strongest, if not the strongest in basketball right now. Very, very popular TNT analyst, Charles Chuck Barkley. Now, he was recently doing an interview with the New York Post, and he was asked straight up and down, what did he think about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving possibly joining the New York Knicks? They're going to have cap room for 2 max free agents and the possibilities of going and getting the #1 pick that could potentially be Zion Williamson, or they could potentially flip into possibly Anthony Davis. Now, here's what Chuck said. He said, I don't think Durant or Kyrie are tough enough to play in New York. Kyrie's a very good player. Kevin's a great player. But I'm not sure they have the mental makeup to play in New York. Those guys are complaining about the media asking questions. Maybe New York isn't for them. Now, here's what I briefly think about what Chuck said. I think that might be overhyping it a little bit about the media, you know, these reporters asking them questions, they getting bothered. Like, is there really that big of a gap between Boston and New York media in 2019? In years past, obviously New York media is at the top, it's the mecca, obviously, right? Everybody has a base in New York, so when something happens, it could be pretty much made this big thing. Any little small thing can be made this big ordeal. You're going to have Kevin Durant and Kyrie in the same building. Everything's going to be sensationalized, right? Those little altercations in the huddle, they're now put on a bigger pedestal. You got superstars on your team and potentially a soon-to-be superstar in Zion around. So obviously things get sensationalized. But, I mean, is there really that much of a difference between New York and Boston? Kyrie plays in Boston right now. Kevin Durant's on Golden State. They're the best team of this decade. I think it's tit for tat, man. I'm being honest with you. I just don't really look at it as that much of a difference. I think what gets to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving more or less is online media, not the questions that they're asked day in and day out. We see them get frustrated at the podiums, obviously, but I think that's not a cause. I think that's effect of what they don't like that happens online. They don't like the online vitriol they get. If you watch Kevin Durant's post-game pressers, it's not that he gets frustrated at a question someone asks. Most of the times, he comes into that post-game presser already frustrated at something that was said in an article that he read or it got back to him. Even the last time he went up to the podium, he was upset. He came to that podium upset And he was upset at one of the top reporters. He was like, pretty much he comes in, doesn't say anything to me, and he writes these crazy things about me and tells me, he tells the world where I'm going to go in free agency. He tells the world I'm going to New York when he doesn't know anyone around me. You know what I mean? I think that what gets to Kevin Durant and Kyrie. You know, I think Kyrie doesn't like the reporters' questions a little more than Kevin, but I think both of these guys get frustrated with online media and just the sensationalism of platforms like a House of Highlights, a Bleacher Report, you know, Complex. These big-time platforms, they command a lot of attention night in, night out. It ain't about ESPN anymore. It's about the Fox Sports ones. And the reason why I bring that up is because FS1, I got the ESPN on my show. I used to work there. FS1, their personalities have a little bit more wiggle room than ESPN. They get a little bit off their chest. Most of their top personalities have podcasts that do great viewership online. Bleacher Report, you know, these guys have, not only do they have platforms, but now they create podcasts for some of their top personalities. House of Highlights, I mean, that thing done doing 1 million views in a couple hours right now. I think that's what it is with them. So I get what Chuck is saying. If you're sensitive to Boston media or Golden State media, it ain't gonna get any better than with New York. I get that. I think what'll more or less be the problem for KD and Kyrie once they get to New York is their focus level. These guys are around the age of 30. Kyrie's like 26, 27. You know, Kevin Durant's about 30. I think these guys, I'm on record of saying these guys need wives and kids, you know, and I've been told that Kyrie does have a little small child, but I think they need families, right? I think they need to hold families. I think their focus level might shift if they don't have that family stability to keep them kind of well grounded at night. And I wonder, as they enter like that LeBron stage of mogul stage with the money that they're gonna have, the amount of media attention that they're gonna get, the amount of opportunities that New York will possess. We've seen a guy like LeBron, to me, not handle it the best, you know, this season with the Lakers. I would be more concerned with, will these guys be focused on basketball? And what comes from that might be daunting. But just the line of questioning that they're going to get from reporters night in, night out, it's something, but I don't know if it's a big deal. I think as long as these guys can stay focused, find themselves something to look forward to when they lead a game of basketball. And when I mean stay focused, not just staying focused on playing the game, but like being focused on how great your life is, right? And what helps you with that? When I got real things outside of my professional career, right? When I got a family, something to smile at, my wife, you know, I think those dynamics could be something that will make me concerned as a New York Knickerbocker. But hell, they've been bad for so long. Y'all just better be willing to take whatever y'all can get. And if Kevin Durant and Kyrie are strongly considering joining y'all team, it's better than what y'all got today. Thank y'all so much for the time. Let's play. I don't take it for granted. Do you agree with Charles Barkley on his assessment of KD and Kyrie joining New York? He said they shouldn't do it. They're not mentally strong enough. And to be fair to Chuck, they've given him more than enough reason to stand by that, but I think they'll be fine. I don't think day in, day out reporting is their big thing. I just think it's that online medium, all of it together that gets to them. I'm out.